fantastic guests. I'm going to start with a special guest on the right, Mrs. Amaka Chika-Mbonu. I'm going to introduce her properly later. And to my left, I have the very beautiful and handsome Sabrina Mali. Daddy Oshodi. Daddy Oshodi is an oil and gas consultant and an entrepreneur. Sabrina Mali is a mental health and well-being counselor and a trainer. Amaka Chika-Mbonu is a motivational speaker, writer and author of the game-changing book, 49 Ways to Get Rid of the Other Woman Without Getting Caught. This book deals with one of the major issues that seems to have become the aberrant norm in many marriages today, infidelity. It looks at the issue through the lens of the wife as she seeks to permanently oust an intruder who is threatening to or has already entered into her territory, the other woman. Thank you so much for joining us in the studio today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Super excited to have you here. So I came across the advert for this book online, and I was immediately intrigued by the title of the book. I find it very catchy and direct, which is what I love about it. I feel honored to have you in the studio today.
It's great to be here. It's great to be here.
Before we get into the interview, I would like to share some statistics on infidelity. 1 in 5 British adults said they've had an affair. Men are more likely to have affairs with work colleagues, whilst women are more likely to have affairs with friends. Men and women also describe slightly different motivations for having affairs. The main reasons cited by women are 44% felt flattered by their attention, 43% felt emotionally deprived in their relationships. Also amongst men, the reasons given for infidelity are 35% flattery and also 32% dissatisfaction with their sex life. Something mentioned by only 15% of women. Most men and women, 74% and 68% respectively, would cheat if they knew they wouldn't get caught. I find the statistics very, very shocking and mind-blowing, and I just heard you guys say, wow. You know, and that's what I thought when I saw that I read the statistics, I thought to myself, this is shocking. What are your initial reaction? What are you thinking? As I was reading those out, what came through your mind immediately?
I think to myself, wow, this infidelity thing is rife. And I mean, the statistics are there to prove it. It's just become a thing. I mean, the norm as opposed to the exception. It's crazy.
I totally agree. What are your first thoughts, your initial thoughts about the statistics you just heard being read out?
Like you said, such a huge proportion would cheat if they could get away with it. That shows there's a lot of unhappy people or people looking for opportunities, something, but that's a big stat.
I think it's very worrying with those numbers, and the fact that most people are happy provided they don't get caught, that actually tells you that in reality it may even be a lot higher.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's scary numbers there, but yeah.
I'm just going to jump right into it. Tell us a little bit about your background and how you started off writing in the first place.
Well, as you said, my name is Amaka Chika-Mbonu, and I've just always written from when I was young. I actually wrote my first book when I was in the university, but that time it was when everything was handwritten, and I lost the manuscript, and that kind of put me off. But I've been writing for as long as I can remember. But my book, the first book, actually came about from a talk I had in my home church. The title was something to What a Woman Wants, and that kind of expanded into the book that I have now. And then from there I went on to write my second book, and you know, I just love writing. It's something I do. It's just that now I'm published. It's a passion, definitely. Yeah.
It's something it comes to you naturally. You don't have to. It doesn't take too much of an effort for you.
It comes to me naturally, and especially because the topic I find myself writing about is something I'm passionate about. Yeah.
That's interesting. Can I just ask, what inspired this book in particular? Where did you draw your inspiration from?
Well, simply that infidelity is rife. I mean, you've read the statistics, and truly infidelity is rife. And so this book is inspired by the fact that somehow we have come to accept, even if we don't quite agree, infidelity as something that just happens. And, you know, I just want to call it out. So it's inspired by the fact that infidelity, I want to call it out. Yeah.
You just want to make it basically throw more light.
I want to throw more light in it. I want us to confront it head on. Yeah, and understand exactly why it's happening, and understand how we can stop it and why we should even actually stop it.
Do you think that a lot of women now, do you think that a lot of people, just women and men in general, hide behind the curtains when infidelity happens or when they experience it in relationships? Do you think that we are not like in front of it and we need to be in front of it more? What are your opinion? What do you think about that?
I think one of the factors probably that contribute to it is social media. It's very easy to do it now. So in my dad's time, if my dad wanted to play away, my dad didn't, but just using an example, in their generation of their time, they would have to go outside and actually meet a woman somewhere to have that transaction. And nowadays it's very, very easy to push a button and connect with somebody else, contact and connect. So your opportunity and the temptation is a lot more, and the social taboos have broken down. It is a lot more acceptable.
Yes.
It's hurtful. People think it's hurtful, but yeah, it is. What we live in is very different.
Yes.
The environment is very different.
Absolutely. I definitely agree with you on that. I think that the technological advancements and social media has played a huge role in it.
Massive.
I wanted to ask the question, do you think that social media has increased the rate at which infidelity happens or has decreased the rate? Do you think, how has that played a part? What would you?
I think social media has increased the rate at which it happens. I think it has just, because like Sabrina said, it's easier to do. It's easier, it's really easier to do. And maybe even easier to get away with. People said they'd do it if they could get away with it. But I think also the whole issue of infidelity is magnified by the fact that we do have social media. So whereas before somebody could be in their little place somewhere doing whatever they're doing with whoever they're doing it with that they're not supposed to be doing it with, and nobody may ever get to hear about it. But now with social media, it's everywhere. You get to know about these things more. So I guess the jury is out on whether it's more rampant now or whether it's just that we're more aware of it because of social media.
Absolutely. Imagine, what's your thought on that? Do you think it's more rampant or we're just more aware because now we have like camera phones, we have videos, and people take pictures and you wouldn't even know that you're being photographed?
Yes.
I think it's a tricky one because on one hand, we have access to information. We have these vast data. You just need to go to Google and you can see what you want to see, you can meet up with people. But on the other hand, infidelity has always been there since the Stone Ages, So I think I agree, that it's a lot easier now because there's that access to information, there's access to data, there's access to so many things. So as a whole, I would say it's a lot easier now because of social media. So I agree with it.
So can you give us a few snippets from the book, and also what is your favorite chapter of the book and why?
I keep saying, even in other interviews, that you're going to have to read the book to find out what the 49 ways are. So I can't really give a snippet per se, but one thing I'll say is that the book is balanced. Because some people are going to think, I just want to knock the other woman. The book is balanced. There's the wife speaks.
Yes.
The other woman speaks, and then there's a letter to the husband. So it covers the three parties that normally are the players in the other woman scenario. So the book is quite balanced. But what was the second part of the question you asked me? The book is quite balanced, so it covers the three players. And
what is your favorite chapter?
And my favorite chapter, wow.
And why?
Okay. I funny enough, I think it's 34. I'm not absolutely certain. I'd have to check.
Okay.
I think it's 34, and I think that's because I just like the story that is there, or the way I bring home the issue, the things surrounding the issue of the other woman in chapter 34. It's either 34 or 40. I'm not absolutely certain. Yeah, I just like it because it makes the story even more real.
Interesting.
Yeah, because the
book
book
more relatable.
More relatable, because the book is actually filled with snippets of stories of, I've had the privilege to hear from people over the years, and one of the challenges I even had writing the book was to make sure that the stories I put in there would not betray any confidences. I didn't want anybody to read the story and think, oh, I know who that is, kind of thing, So that's just that.
That's interesting. I really cannot. I've seen a few bits and pieces of the book. I've gone through it, and I really cannot wait to actually read it properly. I have to ask one question. There's this chapter of the book, I think it was the third chapter, or just before you get into chapters, that talks about getting into the mind of the other woman. I want to know more about this. How were you able to get into the mind of the other woman?
Yes, I have a chapter, something, a the book that's from the mindset of one of the other woman. That's what I like to call it. And I don't know, I just imagined a scenario because the other woman is always castigated. She's always looked at as the villain in the piece, the one who has just come in to wreck somebody's home. And I guess to some extent that's true. But I wanted to kind of put a human face to the other woman and look at the possible reasons which she may be very legitimate to her that she has for doing whatever it is she's doing. Yeah, so that's kind of what from the mindset of one of the other women is about. It puts a face on the other woman. It makes, I'm a wife, but the other woman, I think when...
It's always a mystery.
Yes.
It's always a mystery.
Yes, that when they read this, and I advise the other woman to read it, that when they read this book and read that part addressed to them, they may just see themselves in there and they realize that I'm not trying to bash them, but I'm just simply saying that as it is. Yeah, just point it out as it is.
I find that quite interesting because you're very correct when you say that the other woman is always a mystery. And truth of the matter is she shouldn't be such a mystery because the other woman is our friend. The other woman is your colleague at work.
Yeah.
The other woman relates with us. She's real. Like she's
She
somebody
is.
that you and I.
Yeah, no, and just mix with, yes.
But in these situations, when you talk about it, the other woman is always a mystery. Like I said, she's like a ghost. But she's not really a ghost. She's somebody that we know, we relate to.
Yes.
She's a friend. She's a colleague. She's a confidant. She's there. So I really find
a lot of wives even have friends that are the other woman. You understand? Yes. So when I tried to put a human face on her, that's what I kind of tried to do.
I think it's really lovely the fact that you can take that 3 views and combine it and have that,
balance sort of view.
It's amazing, and I think it's very difficult to do. And the fact that you're able to do it, and it's so successful and interesting. It's
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So I wanted to ask, what are your thoughts on the general notion that when there is infidelity, either in a marriage or relationship, the woman should never confront the other woman? People usually say, you have no business with the other woman. You should just face your husband or face your partner or your boyfriend or whoever it is. What do you think about that?
Well, I kind of say I'd agree with that, but I also disagree with it. So that sounds like a funny answer, and I guess it is. I don't think I'd particularly, but then if one is human, but I don't think I'd particularly advise any wife to physically go and confront the other woman. But then circumstances differ and situations differ. So, but it's not something I would, I guess, generally advise. However, there are many ways to confront the other woman that are not actually stepping up to her face and saying, hey, why are you with my husband? So that's why I say yes, no, I don't agree anyone should go and confront, but yes, to some degree, she does need to be confronted. Yes, because if someone came into your territory, someone said, what is your territory? My territory is my home. Yes. My territory is the sanctity of my marriage. My territory is me, my husband, and my children. And if you were in your home and somebody comes into your home with a shotgun or some, weapon and confronts you, which is what this situation to some extent is, and comes in to confront you and is about to shoot your husband, shoot you, shoot your babies, I believe that if you had an AK-47 here, you're gonna use it.
You're using absolutely. What do you think about that, Sabrina, with regards to confronting the other woman? Should you or shouldn't you?
I feel quite strongly about when Amaka said we had this conversation in backstage. I think it would be nice if more women stood up for each other. And I've been in situations where I've had friends who is the other woman, and they want to tell me stories and partake in it. And the way they view it, the other woman's almost not there because they absolve themselves of the guilt. They tell themselves story and they absolve themselves of the guilt. And heaven forbid, as the friend, when you say to them, you know, today you're doing it, she's in her 30s or 40s, you're in her 20s, which I've had when we were in our 20s, I had a different friend who serially would go after married men. And I was like, the wife think one day we'll be older women, and how would you like it if somebody? But they always have an answer. There's always, they justify it to themselves. And they come to the friend almost like for the validation to agree with you. And if you don't, then it's also very difficult to sustain your friendship because you've got your values set. But you're with someone. So it was interesting what you guys said. We know the other woman. But we, as a, like, we also, we don't want to challenge it and we turn a blind eye when it's hurting someone.
Absolutely. That's fantastic. That's a very interesting perspective. Can you just tell us one? So I know you want us to we definitely all want to read the book, and we all have copies, and we will read it. But can you just tell us one, just one very interesting, one of the 49 ways in your book to get rid of the other woman? Just one.
And no, I'm not going to tell any of the 49 ways, not even one of them. But one thing I will say is that I have a video, I made a trailer for the book that starred one of the stars, Nollywood stars, one of the top stars in Nigeria, which is where I'm originally from, one of the top stars, and we did a 3-minute kind of video for the book. And in the book, the woman is in the dock, and first she's sitting on her bed and she's looking at the various ways, and she says stab her, sabotage her car, surveil her, embarrass her at work. There are all kinds of horrible things, poison her and all that. She's writing all these things down, and you see her in the dock. They pronounce her not guilty. She walks to the door, looks back, and she winks. But so what I'll say is, it's none of the ways I've mentioned just now. So I'm not advising anybody to go out and kill anybody, but I'm not going to say any of the ways that. You'll have to get the book. Yes.
No worries. Also, I wanted to ask. There is a saying that only a man who wants to be kept can be kept. Have you heard that saying before?
I have. Yes.
That no matter what you do as a woman, you know, if a man doesn't want to be kept, he cannot be kept.
Yes.
You know, there's things that we, of course. What do you think about this saying, and how does it apply to your book?
You see, what I will say is, first of all, I'll say to the singles, you know, you have a unique opportunity to get your relationship right. Don't just go with just anyone because you want to be married. There's a certain skill set that is required for marriage, and you better be sure that you have acquired that skill set, and so does the person that you give the privilege of spending the rest of their life with you. There's a training required for marriage, and people think it's just about love, and there is love, but there's a whole lot of other things that sustain a relationship apart from the person looks hot in a bikini, or he's tall, dark, handsome, and has money. There's a lot more that sustains a relationship. So when you say a man that doesn't want to be kept, yes, there are a lot of guys out there who just have wandering spirits, or have issues of self-esteem, or just have lack of self-control. There's a lot of that, and we just need to try not to get into the hands of those kind. So can a man that doesn't want to be kept? Definitely, an adult can do what they want to do, but the issue is, how invested are you in your relationship? If you've made a mistake already and gotten into the hands of someone, I'm not even going to go into that because I'll get a lot of flack for that, because marriage, I believe that the rules that apply prior to marriage change somewhat once you're in the marriage, because other things come into play. Yes. So yes, it's only a man that wants to be kept, truly, that can be kept. But I don't believe in frivolously exiting a marriage. Marriage in and of itself, and the way it was originated, was meant to be for a lifetime, not just for a moment in time. Yes. And I think people should not have the mindset that once there's a challenge, I'm out of here. And that seems to be the mindset in this day and age. That once there's a hitch, I'm not taking it, I'm out. Yeah. I'm not saying that one should stay in a situation that is toxic and where you can probably even get killed or damage your mental health and all that. But what I am saying is the mindset can't be, once there's a challenge, I'm out. Yes.
It's a battle to the end.
You have to fight for, you must fight for it. Yes. That's why you shouldn't enter into something that you're not willing to fight for.
Yeah, absolutely. I think fighting for it, there is within reason, in the sense that when your life becomes stressful, if there's like physical violence involved, of course you need to run.
Situations that you need to look at a bit more deeply. But not simply this happened and therefore
and then I'm
out.
Yes, you need to know where to draw the line.
Yes.
Yeah, what do you guys think about?
I think I agree with Amaka in the sense that, especially in this generation, whether it's social media that is the driver, everybody just wants something so quick and easy. Or as Amaka said, marriage is work. You have to look at the person and say, is this someone who I would like to live with for the rest of my life? Does this person have the necessary
character traits and everything?
Traits? And you should ask yourself a very important question. I think when you don't, then it becomes difficult. Another thing Amaka said was, if you're in an abusive relationship, then that's a line, that becomes very difficult, and you might have to consider or give it a go and make that effort, to make it work. Because our parents got married, for long times, and there were challenges, but that's what made them stronger. So I think most times we just have to try our best to improve things.
Do we think that in the age of our parents' marriage, because we live in a completely different age now, they didn't have social media, they didn't even have mobile phones. Do you think that it was a lot easier then for them? Do you think that infidelity was lower, or the rate of infidelity was lower then than it is now?
I think it was different.
What's the difference?
The difference, my dad's a scientist.
Okay.
So when my dad started off, there would be very few female scientists working with him in a lab. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Now the demography is changing. A lot more women are in the workplace, and one of your stats back that up. So men are coming into contact with women a lot more frequently. A lot more single women, a lot more frequently. And we also live in a culture where everybody's out for themselves. It's a dog-eat-dog world. And, females are complicit in it, because the man wouldn't get away doing it if the women's side wasn't participating. There's a lot of factors in play. I was listening to one of the comedians from America, and he said, Chris Rock actually, whose marriage broke down, and he said something very interesting. He said his parents put in over 40 years, and I think his marriage lasted a lot. I'm not too sure, 12 or 13 years, something like that. And he said, but he thinks he's done a longer run, because he said, but his dad was a blue-collar worker. When he'd leave work, from 6 in the morning till 7 in the evening, one of the kids could have been dead. The dad mom wouldn't be necessarily able to reach the dad.
Yes.
And I remember my dad working like that, where my mom wouldn't necessarily be able to ring him at work.
There were no mobile phones.
There were no contact.
Yes.
And so the dad would come back in the evening, so he's missed his wife during the day. And he said, by the time I'd leave and get to the car, my wife would text me, WhatsApp me 7 times. So the intensity of the relationships are very different.
That's right. Yes, exactly. Perspective, yes.
And the selfie culture, me being, I've been in the dating market, I've seen it. Some of the explicit pictures, like we use sex to get a partner now.
Yes.
And when it's so available, both sides are doing it.
I like what you said about how before your dad gets to, before he gets to the car, his partner's texting 1 million at one time. Because I know that one of the key ingredients to a relationship or maybe a marriage would be just having that time apart, having that time alone by yourself, to find yourself, to miss your partner. So that when you come back together, you've missed each other, and then you can genuinely, reconnect. And build on that. But I agree with you, in this day and age, social media has bridged the gap, which is a good thing and can also be a bad thing.
Yes.
Because we don't have the time to meet each other. We are constantly on the phone, with each other, talking, texting. It's good. But then,
what Amaka touched on, expectation and salvation. And I've heard many comments from my Western friends who say, oh, your marriages in your community tend to last because women put up with this or that. And I always tell them, it's not just because women put up with this or that. The expectation was, if you get into it, you stick with it. That was, you're in it for the long run. It's a mindset. And often people, from most immigrant communities, they worked as a team. You have to work as a team.
Yes.
My dad worked, my mom worked, it was a team effort. And, they had
towards a common goal.
Often they were sending money back home, they were trying to raise a family through nothing. So they were a team together. And so when I hear that hurts me a little bit. There's part true, but it's not the whole story. And now, again, we live in a culture where we make ourselves happy. I'm getting a bit bored. He snores. I have heard, and I know I'm making light of it.
But yes,
a lot quicker. not pointing, like every community now is changing. It's a generational
Yes.
Our patience threshold is
It's
a lot
very
more.
low, yeah.
So,
And I love that you said that, because something I will say also, and a lot of the things that are causing so many of the horrible things happening in marriage today, you know, I know that a lot in some cultures they've decided to change the vows. So you get in front of wherever you get in front of to get married, and you decide what you want to say to each other. Well, I guess whatever works for anybody, but if you say the traditional vows, there are traditional vows. There was an originator of marriage. If you say those traditional vows and you say for better, for worse, I'd like to ask young people, what is the worst of the for better? And this is why I expect young people who aren't married to think deeply about this institution, because that you want to go into. Know what it's about. Know whether you can hack it or you can't hack it. No, there's nothing else in life that you go into as will, at will, exit at will, behave anyhow you like. You can't do it in a job. You can't even do it in the wider society. But when it comes to marriage, people just think they can do as they please, change things as they please. You know, so what is the worst of the for better? And this is what every single person, and even somebody married, has to ask themselves. There is gonna be a worst of the for better. Nobody likes another human being 24/7, 365 days of the year. Even your own mother, even your own sibling. You don't like, so you're not a statue. Your emotions are fluid. Truly they are.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that's very interesting. When you've asked people what's the worst of the for better, what's the most interesting answer you've ever?
They never really answer. It's just that it's almost like a rhetorical question, because it just makes you think. Because when you say those vows, and where else do you say vows? I mean, like in this country, if you go and you sign a contract, or you go before a judge and you make a certain declaration, you're bound by it.
Yes.
But when it comes to marriage, somehow, I don't know, it's just different, I think. You know, so nobody answers that question, but it gets you thinking. Because I'm not saying everybody should have a particular view of marriage, but know what view you have about it, so you can follow that, and that your partner has it, so that you follow that view and be committed to it, just like you're committed to other things that are binding on you.
Absolutely. I think I totally agree with you. I agree with the both of you. You said that you know, there's a very low threshold now, patience threshold, just generally with our generation, you know, which is very true. Why is still, you know, no one knows why as such. I think, you know, technological advancement has played a huge role in that. We live in a very instantaneous world now, so everything you want is instant.
Instant gratification.
You know, what's this? Twitter is instant, Instagram is instant, Facebook, everything goes out there right there, and just like that. In the olden days, you know, back in the days of our parents, you had to post a letter.
Yeah.
And you have to wait for it to
You have
get.
to wait for it to get. I remember.
Yes.
Exactly. I remember because I have uncles in the US. My mom used to have to write letters to them, and they used to write back, and it was just a very long thing.
Process.
Like you know, like we say, very long process. You write, and then you wait for them to receive it, and then, you know, even in relationships was the same. You know, like love letters. You know, oh, you wrote me a letter, and it's a really big deal.
Yeah.
But this is just.
But let's make no mistake, where the temptation for the other woman would have been like, they had the other woman usually in the form of a mother-in-law now, because people also lived in extended
family situations.
So those women also did have their pressure. My aunties and moms, they had their own pressure.
Yes.
I think also we live in a world where you say everything, you express yourself, like in Twitter. People are into sensationalizing. We've also forgotten the art of maybe holding our tongue and being patient.
Yes.
And for women it's seen as a bad quality, and I'm going to get so much flack for this. But I think for all adults, there's a time when you also have to, be able to know when to. Because they did have their own challenge. It's not like their marriages were
smooth
sailing. They had other
challenges.
My mom used to say, joking, and I'm going to get told off, she said, we used to get two kind of letters from your dad's side. Through Arabelle, it take 18 days to come from both sides. We've received money, send us money. But they have their own challenges.
Yes.
That's what
They did. I totally agree. It's just these days like you said, it's a very fast-paced environment. Everything goes really quickly, happens really quickly. So all of our institutions like marriage is following in that same line.
Same way.
You know, you're in quickly, you're out quickly. You know, and there's no room for endurance and all of that, which, you know, can be seen in both ways, good and bad.
And the other thing we have to look at is, one, that the issue of the other woman, like what you said, the other woman could be a physical person, it could be some other things, too much time at work, you know, focusing on something else apart from the relationship. But I say that to say, how has it aided us, the fact that the marriage institution has broken down? I wouldn't say it has done us very well, because there's so much dysfunction in the family system, in the children produced from unions. There's so much dysfunction. And I don't know whether people are really thinking about the fact that marriage is going to produce other human beings. In fact, I describe marriage as a two training partners who go ahead and train a fixed unit, who themselves divide into units of two and train another set of fixed units, and those ones. So there is a dysfunction, and we're reaping the results of it now. We are reaping the results of it. I think we all need to, man, woman, man, whatever, however you do it, but you need to agree on what this thing means to you, and then both you follow that path, sort of. Yes.
Absolutely. I like that you said that, marriage is, two people coming together to kind of raise a nation, because that's what it is.
That is what it is.
So a marriage is a representation of the society at large.
Absolutely.
So when people think, it's just me and you,
I can do what we like. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't affect anything. It's our business.
When you have kids, it's a whole completely different ballgame.
So we're pushing out a training ground that is pushing out dysfunctional training units that are pushing out more dysfunctional people, and those are going on to train more dysfunctional people, and the whole thing is going crazy.
Yes, because then you have a society of dysfunctional people. Yeah. This has been
wounded people, walking wounded, And I'm sure Sabrina sees it when you treat mental health patients. So much dysfunction.
Yeah, you see it on a personal level.
Yes.
You've mentioned the value set. Being when I've been outside dating, you meet grown men who were not respectful to women, who would, I don't need anybody to buy me a cup of tea, I can buy my own, but who were selfish in their own way. And you realize they didn't learn it from home. Yes. I don't care who says what, there's a saying, men want to be trusted, women want to be adored. No matter how much we evolve, and maybe I'm more of a traditional at heart.
I'm definitely not.
My dad is an old man, but if I carry 2 bags, my dad's going to try and attempt to carry 2 bags, because my dad still sees himself that way.
Yes.
But I've come across the men, you carry 2 bags.
And I guess because some women say, it makes why you want me to be weak when you're saying I want to be courteous to you. You understand? No, I'm not into that, and I don't make any apologies.
Female friends who tell me what it is to be a feminist. I think sometimes it's patronizing to tell a Muslim woman to be a feminist, because the things we combat, they're women from other parts of the world wouldn't even think about. So to lecture me on being a feminist, I think I don't really care if we're shaving our legs or not. Some of the things that still happen in my countries, where my parents come from, are really serious issues.
Let me look at the camera. I'm going to look at the camera and say, I'm not a feminist. I'm not.
No, but you get heat. And then I say,
no, I will get heat. But do I believe women are powerful? That a woman should be all she wants to be? Do I believe women
do you want to be a gentleman?
Yes.
Then we said that. But then you can have both. But do you know what? I like the guy open the door for me sometimes.
Yes.
I like to pay me a compliment.
I like it. I love it actually.
It's quite interesting because I was on a trip, came back from a trip from Norway, and the Norwegian culture is very different. Usually, you in Britain or like in Nigeria, you are about to open the door, you see a lady coming, you open the door, and you let her pass through. And I opened the door for the lady, and she was like, "Why did you open the door for me?"
Wow.
In Norway. And I was like, so that's easier for you to pass? And she was like, no, don't do that. In Norway, we don't do that. And that total change, of that, we don't need anybody to help me, I can do it myself.
I don't mind if somebody helps me. I can help people too, and I don't mind, and I make the apologies for it.
I can even help you I can help you to help me.
Exactly, So I felt,
we're going to get flack. I'm sure we're going to get flack for this. I'm sure we're going to get flack for this.
Bring on the flack. Bring on the
But
flack.
I've had male friends say they give up up a seat for a female and they get
Upset.
Then I've gone on the train and heavily pregnant woman, men are sitting there reading the paper, wouldn't give up a seat.
Yes.
But it's bizarre. We've come to a place where men are not men anymore and females are not females.
The lines are blurred.
And then
Because somehow, maybe we're expected to be some kind of androgynous thing, where you don't know who kind of is who. And maybe that's where we're going to, I don't know. But I guess it's my prerogative to say, I don't mind certain things being done for me, I just don't. And if that makes me weak, well, so be it.
I think now it's down to personal preference, you know.
Yes. It's probably part of the problem we face today with infidelity. If a man feels emasculated, for instance, or the things that are known to be manly, or areas that are known to be for men, things that we should allow the man do.
They say that no more.
But
they say that no things for men and no things for women anymore. They say we're both kind of like the same. I don't even know how that works because a woman just looks different from a man. So I really don't know how that works. But yeah, I guess I've not evolved to that higher plane yet.
I think you know, in addition to what Amaka said, we are changing very quickly, and is it for the better, is it for the worse? I don't know.
That's what we need to look at, because we may be the ones that are wrong, you know. So anyone can write in or something and let us know, you know. So maybe we can then change our views. But you know, right now,
please feel free to reach out to us. Let us know that our opinions are right,
or wrong, or that we
correction. And, you know, whatever it is, we're open. We're all learning after all. No one knows it all.
What it is really nice to have is a diverse views on this, because often when I watch a program, it's by liberal, elite, educated women of a certain class and race. So, but we also make up London and we're part of this country, so it's really nice to have a conversation from a different perspective.
That's quite important, because when people grow up, if they are used to a certain view, then that's the only thing they know. You know, when they see, okay, someone else has this view or this other opinion is actually being explored, then it gives people the option to decide, you know,
what they want. But I know my book is going to be, I know it's confrontational. I mean, I've had so many comments on social media. Why must I bother about the other woman? Why kick the guy to the curb? I thought we do. I've had the comments are so interesting, and I actually go through them and kind of comment sometimes. I thought we had evolved past all this. Yeah, okay, well, get the book and see.
Yes, because
that's what makes it very interesting. You know?
If you get negative comments, do you get upset by it?
Do you know?
Do you not take it to heart?
I do not take it to heart at all. Funnily enough, I don't take it to heart at all. I actually respond. I like to respond to negative comments. In fact, one woman said, "I'd like to sit down over a coffee and educate you." I said, let me know when and where. Yeah, I'll be there. Let's look at it. Let's talk about it. You understand? Let's talk about it. You know, let's talk about it. Let me understand exactly what you're saying, so you can understand. Yeah, what I'm saying.
I think that's really interesting, because you know, people have different views, and sometimes you just might be surprised at what would actually come out of their mouths. You know, so it's always interesting. So like, once a cheat, always a cheat. Do you believe people can actually change?
I do believe that people can change. I do. I believe people can change, but they have to be willing to do so.
Yes.
That's just the proviso I have. So I don't agree that once a cheat, always a cheat. A lot of times when people cheat, there are a lot of underlying reasons for it. I like to talk about the men, and they say I'm biased, fine.
But you can only speak from
I can only speak from a woman's point of view, because I'm not confused. I am a woman. You understand? So I can only speak from a woman's point of view. So I don't believe that once a cheat, always a cheat. Yeah. Some people, it may be real for them, but some people get into affairs just inadvertently. They find themselves in something that somehow they can't come out of. And that's the other thing I tell women. What if your man was ill? What if he was an alcoholic or a drug addict? You know, will you stage an intervention? Would you do that? Would you try to help him? Do you understand? Yeah, so some men just have issues. You know, so I wouldn't agree that across board once a cheat, always a cheat. No, I wouldn't.
There's always room for change.
There's always room for change, but just that the person has to want
to
change. Yeah, the person has to.
What do you think about it? Do you agree? Once a cheat, always a cheat, or do you think people will change?
When I was young, I was very naive, and I used to think, oh, somebody does it. Then life taught me as I grew older. I agree with Amaka. I think I think there's two types of cheating. One is you're in a relationship, things are happening, you're under strain, people lose their way, and that can happen. And the other one is the serial sleazer.
Yes.
Like the serial
Absolutely.
sleazer who just needs
That
his
is just has a one. I like to call it a wandering spirit.
needs to go with women just to
Wandering
prove a point they want.
Yes.
They want. You get women like that. Right? Let's face it, you get women like that.
They're evil.
Yes.
They need to be
Evil,
good. So I think there's two different types of cheating, and I have seen friends who've overcome infidelity and their marriage is very strong and in love.
Yes.
So I do believe you can get you can. It depends on you. You can grow together, or it can take you apart.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
That's
I've seen it heal, and
yeah.
I've seen it heal, and the couple, when you go into their house, it's pure love, and they've overcome it. So I do believe you can. Yeah.
Well, what's your opinion?
Yeah, I think Amaka's and Sabrina's view, I totally agree that human beings can change. It's more, are you willing? You know, how far are you willing to work together to make it work? Some people are in relationship where no one is cheating, but they are miserable.
Yes.
You know, so it's how two people can work together and make the best, you know, out of it. And for a serial cheater or a serial cheat, you know, it's a different issue.
Yes.
You know, but if someone cheats once, you know, there's an underlying, you know, reason behind it. And it's up to both parties to work together to
See
make
how
it work.
to see, you know.
That's interesting. What advice would you give to anyone who is currently struggling with infidelity in their relationship or marriage?
I'd say to you, be strong. Be strong. You know, it's a painful thing. It's humiliating. It can drive you crazy. And all the feelings that you feel are valid. You know, when you're cheated on, especially if you're really invested in the relationship and you love the person, you will come to the realization that a heart can be broken. A heart can actually break, literally break. You know, but you have to be strong and know that you're fighting for your sanity, you're fighting for your life, you're fighting for your well-being. You know, don't let anybody you know, belittle what you're feeling. You understand? Because infidelity, betrayal is a death of sorts. You need to have time to mourn.
Heal.
Yes, you need to have time to heal. It is a death of sorts. So feel all the things you're feeling, but then don't stay there. Don't stay in that position. Hopefully, whoever cheated on you is remorseful and wants to change and wants to make the relationship better. That's always the best position to be in, because then maybe somehow you guys can make it work again. If it's the issue of the serial cheater who feels no remorse,
Then it's a problem.
that's something there's a problem, and that is something one may have to discuss much deeper. You know, I don't like to look across border situations like that. Those are things that are not for an open forum. One has to look at it a bit deeper.
Individual.
Yes, almost on an individual basis. Yeah, but I'll say mourn. It's a death of sorts. Hearts can be broken, but you have to pull yourself up from there. It's not the end, and you are the only person who can pull yourself back from the brink of that abyss. And I'm telling you honestly speaking, yeah.
That's very interesting. So in closing, I have to say the discovery of an affair is gut-wrenching. Often the pain and betrayal is too much to overcome, and the relationship will never fully recover. However, relationship researchers like John Gotham and Esther Perel have found that an affair doesn't always need to be the nail in the coffin. In fact, many couples have used the affair experience as a catalyst for improving and strengthening their relationship. In the Gotham method, couples learn that in order to redevelop their relationship, they must move through 3 stages: atonement, attunement, and attachment. These 3 stages help the couple to rebuild trust, increase intimacy, and move forward with shared life goals. In a nutshell, the atonement phase determines if the relationship can successfully continue after the affair. If the partner who had the affair is not willing to atone, then the relationship must end, or there will be continued resentment. Attunement is the stage in which couples get to know each other again. They are encouraged to be open and honest even when it may hurt. And attachment, this is the phase of the relationship, which is marked by solid commitment by both partners to stay in the relationship. Thank you so much for coming on the show today. You can order your copies of 49 Ways to Get Rid of the Other Woman Without Getting Caught at www.amakachika-Mbonu.com and also on Amazon.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming on the show
It's
today,
been
Amaka.
wonderful being here.
Thank you so much. It's been fantastic having you on the show. And there's so much running through my head now with all of the little bits and pieces you said. And just so much that I've learned from today's show. And I'm sure that Sabrina and Lani can say the same. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much for having me.
And we look forward to having you again.
I look forward to coming back.